All right, welcome to another episode of The Game, where we go into deep looks at questions within the world of hip hop, whether it's in Johannesburg, whether it's in Deep Sloot, South Africa, whether it's in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, or whether it's right here in DC, where I, Mustafa Janadu, am here. Today we're going to focus on the problem of rappers and drugs, and the fact that why is a rapper like Kodak Black, who's supposed to be a multimillionaire, who's a very successful rapper, who's been in the game for more than 15, 16, 20 years, is being arrested for selling drugs. The whole idea about hip hop and music is that it's a form of expression, and it's supposed to be a way of young men, young black men and young black women, or anybody, could even be Eminem, makes money and makes a living off of rapping so that they don't have to be criminals. We know that in drill music, the rappers brag about being murderers and killers, but Kodak Black is supposed to be a trap rapper. He's supposed to be someone who's a positive look for the communities that he came out of, Florida and New Orleans. But here he is with all of his money, or all of his supposed money. His freedom is almost over now, and he might be in jail. All of this coming at the same time that Lil Durk, who was King Von's best friend, is in jail for setting up an assassination of another person. Young Thug, who's one of the top rappers in the scene, ended up in jail for drug trafficking and barely got out. So the question we're asking is, if these guys are making so much money in the game, why do they have to still be involved in a business in which your life could be snatched from you, or all of your money can be snatched for you, or your freedom can be snatched for you, and you're in jail? Before I go deeper, so let's talk about what's going on with Kodak Black. Kodak Black has been charged for trafficking before and got off. He was charged for trafficking painkillers, but I think there was a plausible case that those painkillers were for personal use. But now he's being charged for selling MDMA. Last year, he had over 25 grams of MDMA, which is twice the limit for what you should have if it's personal use. They found $37,000 in a car that's registered to him, and in a bag that people say they have proof from TikTok that the bag belongs to him. And there were gunshots around the area where the cars were. All of this seems to point to the fact that Kodak Black is a drug trafficker, not just using drugs. And my question is, why is he still in there? Because I don't think any sane human being, if they have a lot of money and they have a lot to lose, would be still selling drugs. We'll answer that question later, but I want to see what your thoughts are first, Helby. Yeah.
Remember, these guys, most of them come from poor backgrounds, right?
Yeah.
So they start like being seen through their talent, music, let's say sports, whatever that they choose to engage in. Talking about these rappers, you're coming from a poor background. You get a contract that says you are supposed to get 5 million. To you, for that time, it's a lot of money. You think that money is endless. Then you start like engaging in stuff that is actually taking your money than actually putting money in your pocket. Like these rappers, they start having these entourages, their friends, their whosoever, that they're supposed to maintain or support with the same 5 million that they've been given for a contract. They start living lavishly. They buy fancy cars. You've got a contract that says you're getting 5 million. You buy an exotic car, like you buy a Lamborghini that is costing 2 million. That is you literally taking away from what you are given, and nothing's going to go back, because a Lamborghini is not going to replace your money. Doesn't generate income, only takes money. So our rappers, they start like adopting these lifestyles that are above their pace.
Yeah.
You get me? Then they've got this society pressure that they fall under. Because we see you on your music videos living in a fancy house, driving a rented fancy car. Those mansions that they shoot from usually are rented. So now, because you have portrayed such a lifestyle to the people out there, you try to be at least near that lifestyle. Now you hire a house. You don't buy it. You rent a house in a prominent step-up where you are paying rent every month, absorbent rent. You're driving a fancy car that's not generating anything to your pocket. Now you only find out that the 5 million that you got initially it's not enough to sustain the lifestyle. So you
Yeah.
resort to ways to make quick money. You resort to ways to make quick money because now remember that you are a superstar. You've got the access to go wherever that you wanna go. You make shows wherever you wanna make shows. So now it's easy for you to actually traffic.
Oh
You
yeah.
get me?
Yeah.
On
And I'll
shows
jump in front of you
when
from
they
here. I'll jump in front of
yeah,
you very
yeah,
quickly. So you're trafficking. Also, a lot of these rappers were trafficking before they became rappers. They had people who gave them
yeah,
loans, and on top of that,
yeah,
when a rapper, no rapper gets $5 million, but let's just assume that they do get 5 million. 50% of that is going to be
yeah,
paid in taxes. 30% is going to go to
yeah.
your agent, who's usually a white Jewish guy, and also, and it's also
True
going
that.
to go to your lawyers because you
Only
have so many criminal cases. And then like
yeah,
Kodak Black. Kodak Black had is paying for rent for 30 people, paying for rent because you want to show off. So it's very easy that you have to. First of all, you're used to selling drugs. You're used to the glory of being a drug dealer because drug dealers are fantastical, important people in American society. Also in South Africa, because I know a lot of these rappers in South Africa sell drugs and do drugs. So you have all of that,
yeah,
and then so all of a sudden you have nothing. And by the time you pay legal fees, 75,000 here, 100,000 here, you're in debt. And the record companies are laughing because they planned all of this. They even
all of it.
they plan. So go back to your point. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So as you stating, even record companies are also involved in the trafficking. These record companies, uh, they actually make their artists push for them.
Yeah.
Remember now, you say,
Sorry, can I add one thing? Even if they're not involved, they're going to make sure you do that so they can control you and take all of your money. Even if they, you
yeah,
understand what I'm. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
they,
Yeah.
they lend you in debt, then they give you a way out.
Yeah.
And you know when you get into the drug game, there's no way out. The only way out is through a body bag. So
Jail
now
or body.
you're actually you're trafficking for the record companies that you are signed to.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because
Yeah.
if you can check most of these artists, like who start like trafficking or using drugs when they get into the music industry, you'll be asking yourself, why was the guy not using before? Now suddenly he's signed in, now he's using. What's happening? You see
Yeah.
that? So, like when you look at local companies like Jethro, for an example, let's just go take it back there.
Yeah.
Jethro, Sush Knight is gangster. Sush Knight is a thug. So those trucking artists that used to come to his recording studio and don't
That is a drug
actually
dealer
get,
and a gangster. Yeah.
yeah, you understand. So they make the artists actually push for them. So
Let
when
me
it
give you
comes
another
to
example. Birdman. Birdman signed Manny Payne, signed Lil Wayne, all that. Birdman is a big time drug dealer along with Master P. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
Big time drug dealers. And if they're big time drug dealers, they even have big time dealers above them, the cartel. Go ahead. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
So our black artists usually they're not well versed when it comes to finances.
No.
You get into the game, you get given this absorbent amount of money, of which you waste in a small period of time. I come up to you and say, you know what, because you're always performing, you're always on shows and stuff like that. I'll give you stuff that is gonna help you on stage
Yeah.
for you not to get exhausted. But what I also need from you is to pass it around in the clubs wherever you go.
Tell it to people.
Now you've got club owners that actually make money out of artists when artists go to their clubs. So now you've got a connection with the club owners. I'm a drug, I'm a supply. I give it to you and say, my stuff, when you get to the club, make sure homies push this thing. Tell the club owner that you're going to be pushing, but in the VIP section. So when it
Yeah.
comes to Kodak Black, that bag belongs to him. These things that they're saying that there are no prints, it's just the look way of just saying,
No.
you know what, let's
Yeah.
go threaten it. Because
Uh,
the bag was found in his car, right? With the
yeah.
money.
Yeah. No
Yeah.
fingerprints, but it doesn't
Who,
matter. Mm.
who else can put stuff in your car?
No.
It's just,
And can I say something? So let's say this. And here's the thing: his lawyer. is referred to him by his record agent. His record agent is making 30% of the money. The lawyer is taking 10% in legal fees. So it's a scam run by white people. It's a scam run by white lawyers, white Jewish lawyers, record label people, and they get the money back. It's no coincidence that Whitney Houston died from overdose of drugs, and Clive Davis takes all of the money for her thing. Michael Jackson died overdose of drugs. They weren't selling drugs. Prince dies overdose of drugs. These drugs are being used to undermine. Young Dolph was killed over drugs. Young Dolph in Tennessee.
Yeah.
He was killed over drugs. X Extension was robbed, killed. Juice WRLD, Juice WRLD. Juice WRLD is one of the most talented rappers of all time. He was about to become a rock star. He goes beyond hip hop. He was creating music that white people live. He died in an airplane swallowing drugs that he was supposed to be selling because he was afraid that the police would kill him. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Juice WRLD doesn't look like a criminal. But what happens is he's using drugs. Juice WRLD came from a very talented family. His mother was a teacher. He lived in Chicago. He's like Kanye West. He's very well educated. And he was rising up, and he died on an airplane swallowing drugs when the federal agents were about to bust him. This is a setup. And when these guys die, the record companies take their money. You understand what I'm saying? You remember the guy Young Thug? Young Thug barely escaped. Yeah. He barely escaped distribution charges. They let him out. He got out on probation, but he lost a lot of money. So what I'm saying is that this is another form of slavery in which these guys come on video with their gold teeth and the girls around them. And young people say, I want to be like him. I want to have bitches. I want to have cocaine. I want to be in the game, and I want to die young. Tupac died. And Suge Knight, Tupac's mother had to sue Suge Knight because when Tupac was killed, Suge Knight had all the owning of his records. I believe Suge Knight had Tupac killed. You get my point? But his mother fought for it, and she got the money back. So that's my last point. Give me some insight, because I know in South Africa, a lot of these rappers, there was one rapper, I forgot the guy, I think he finally became clean, but he was using drugs, and he was selling and doing that shit. And we all know that HHP, Hip Hop Pansula, he was using drugs and committed suicide. So give us some insight on the drug trade and hip hop in South Africa. And remember also one last thing, the South African rapper or singer that went to Nigeria with Davido, and he ended up stranded there, because that's a trafficking story too. Big. Any last insights before we leave?
Yeah, yeah. What's happening to the South African industry is a very sad thing, because not much finances are generated through music, right?
Yeah.
Yes, they do make that money, but it's not so much that you can compare to the American side.
Yeah.
They have money to live. They get money to live. Buy a fancy car, buy a nice house, but not that lifestyle that they portray on TV. No. So these artists, they sign a contract that maybe like the most I can say maybe 10 million at most that you can sign.
10 million rand. Yeah.
Yes, rand. I'm in South Africa.
Maybe $500,000. Yeah.
Yeah. So now they start living. What I said, the lifestyle that is above their pay. The record companies, they want to make their money back fast. So they're always pushing these artists to perform different shows. You can be performing maybe like 5 shows in a day. You don't have that stamina. The only thing that you have to resort to is to use drugs so that you can stay. Yes. So now when you start using drugs, you're getting with the dealers, or you can have your men getting those drugs for you. A lot of artists actually are on drugs in South Africa. We've got Brenda Fast. You know Brenda Fast?
Yeah, she died from crack.
Yeah. You know
Yubara Shaka Shaka was not on drugs though. Thank you, Mr. DJ.
That one is Mama Africa. That's a
good woman.
That is Mama Africa. So as we progressing with the ages, like your new age artists now.
Yeah.
Most of them are on drugs. Not because they are forced to. It's because they think that it's actually, I don't know, man. It's cool. It's cool to be on drugs.
They can make them creative. Drugs doesn't make you creative at all. It doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. That is another misconception that people are actually pushing around. That if you're on drugs, your mind opens up another dimension of your mind. You're more creative than you are. So
you know what? Can I say one thing? Drugs gives you good ideas, but you can't do those ideas until you're sober. So for me, it's not drugs. It's like beer. If I have a beer, it gives me a good idea, but I can't create when I'm on beer. But if I get a good idea, as oh yeah, that's true, then you have to be sober. You have to drink coffee. Drink coffee, sit down for hours and work. Sorry, go ahead. Yes. Yeah.
So, drug traffickers and drug dealers have actually seen a way in with our artists.
Yeah.
So they're using our artists, and it's so sad because most of our drug dealers are actually people in power, using the same artists on the ground to feed us drugs. It's a sad
That's
thing.
it.
These drugs, they come through politicians, they come through these so-called pastors, these fake pastors that are everywhere. And now artists are actually the ones pushing them. So if you're pushing something, you have to use it. You can't be pushing something that you don't know if it's genuine or if it's fake. You come to me,
Yeah.
you sell me crack, I'm gonna smack you. Sell me some good shit. Smoke that shit first before you sell it to me. So these artists are supposed to smoke this shit before they pass it in the street.
Yeah.
Now that's why you find out that there's a lot of cases where artists die, and if the cases are investigated, they are linked to drug cartels.
Yeah. Do you remember Mac Miller, the white guy that could rap his ass off? That's my favorite, one of my favorite white rap.
Yeah.
Mac Miller, overdose on drugs. Yeah. But they'll
It's,
cover
it's
it
these
up.
records.
Yeah.
I won't say Kodak Black did something that is out of the ordinary. He
No. But he's a
did
target.
they've been doing it to every other artist. You
Yeah.
see, especially for Kodak Black. Remember that currently on the scene is not there so much nowadays.
Yeah.
So obviously there's a bit of financial struggles in between. Comparing his lifestyle when he was still earning that much money, and now that he's not getting so much money, I'm sure that he was in a financial fucked up
Right.
situation.
Yeah. And
So
he has
now
child
that
support. Sorry, finish
yeah,
your
yeah,
thought. He,
you see that. So if a guy couldn't pay child support for his child, you see how much of in debt he is.
yeah. You mean his children? He has
So
many children. Child support, then prior drug cases, debt, and he's also a
yeah,
drug addict. He's a drug, and he's a good guy. Kodak Black is a very talented rapper. He's more talented. He grew. He sounds like Lil Wayne. He has that type of talent. He's not just one of these drill rappers or trap rappers. He can actually do boom bop hip hop. But he's a bad boy. He does drugs. So and the drugs have diminished him. And he's not. Here's the thing. He's not relevant right now because, like you said, so he's struggling. So we wish him the best. And one thing I know is that this shit is destroying the black community in America and South Africa, all over the world. This drug issue.
I think it's better if we black people like we find a way to actually, instead of glamorizing lifestyles that are beyond our pay, we actually teach our artists how to invest their money, how to make money. Look at these artists who were never into drugs. Like, let's talk about Nas, like the Jay-Z's. They actually
Jay-Z is a
came
drug
out
dealer.
of, he's a drug dealer, but he's not using. He's being a drug dealer, but
don't use. Yeah.
yeah.
Don't use, yeah.
You see, you don't smoke crack, you sell it. And
wait, never get high or your own supply. Kanye doesn't do drugs because Kanye's brain is a drug. His own brain is a drug dealer to his head. Kanye has bipolar. His brain is a drug. But also Kanye, so those guys work hard. They focus on the music and not on the drugs. Focus on the music, not the drugs.
So, and if you look at lifestyles, Kanye West's lifestyle, even though he's well off, is not that glamorous as the other artists.
No, he's a workaholic.
You walk into a shop, Jacob shop. You want a watch that is costing like 15 million. You only have 30 million in your account. What are you saying?
It's stupidity.
What are you saying? That is stupid. Right. So our artists are actually not informed financially. That's why even it's easy to persuade them to actually push for these record companies.
Yeah. I won't be surprised. They don't have mentors. They don't have mentors. So
Yeah.
this is a breakdown.
Yeah.
The black community doesn't have people to raise them. So this is where the old guys. Did this guy die? Who's the guy? The big time. He died, right? Who was that big
Which
time South
one?
African rapper back in the day that was involved in drugs? No, he's not dead, but he had to have people to borrow him money and stuff. South African.
Which one?
South Africa's most
Rapper.
famous Kwaito rapper. He's the most famous of all of them, but he's a drug addict. Even before the guy who sang Dubula Dubula, not that one, the one before him. The guy that he's bald head. I forgot his name. Let me see.
I'm not sure which one you're talking about. Do you got Umampincha? They are fed. They were there to
Name the top four South African Kwaito of all time.
of all time. I would say WHP. He was fed actually. I would say Pro Kid. But those are you can say Kwaito rappers. Not really Kwaito. Kwaito is way different. Then you've got AKA.
Mm-hmm.
He got
No,
shot.
this guy he was bald and he was begging for money. He lives in Let me see what's his name. Just
check out the name first for me. You can. Most of artists actually here when they die, you only find out that some of them have to actually ask for donation to be buried. Then you'd wonder with yourself, what happened to their money while they were still living? It's because these record companies, they're using these artists. So
yeah,
a lot of them, yes, you found them.
And
they have to resort to other means. Who is the guy now?
Is it Zola? Zola.
Oh.
Is he dead?
No,
Zola was very famous like 20 years ago, right? Yeah. You don't know Zola?
He's the guy who actually... I know Zola, man. Zola started from acting, Hizo.
Yeah.
Then he went to music.
Yeah, but he got fucked up with drugs and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Then it's not the drugs only, but also he had a scandal about beating up his wife. Then
but he had problems. He had problems though. Yeah.
Yeah, he has problems. But well, the same situation that is happening in America, even though our industry, this side, is not currently run by Jews strictly to say, but it is the same setup. Guys go in, get fucked up.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Yeah, Zola was more of alcohol. It wasn't drugs. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he had epilepsy. He also had some other
Yeah, he got sick, man. He lost a lot of weight.
I think that when that happened, people thought it was drugs, but he wasn't. All right, so we have to get out. Just take us out. Take us out in 30 seconds. I got to go to work. What's your last message?
The guy that you wanted to say was Mendoza. Mendoza, the most like...
Mendoza was doing drugs.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that one was fucked up. Got into it. Also trafficking too.
Let me tell you something. I've been there before. You know what they call cat in South Africa? You know how much cat I did? I probably spent more than 80,000 rand on cat in 1 year. You heard of cat, right?
80,000.
I did that shit, man. I was at UCT studying philosophy. I was doing cat every day. 300 rand every day. 1,000 rand every day. That shit is crazy. You know cat. You heard of it, right? Yeah. I survived that shit.
Yo, man. Yeah. You were almost a millionaire. Unfortunately, cat was in your face.
But you know what they say, though? You know what they say, that even if you're poor, if you're doing drugs, you'll find money. I'll borrow money from my sister, from my dad, from my friends. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So what I'm saying is that I've been there before, so I don't judge people. What were you going to say? Yeah.
No, I'm not going to judge any Eric, because I've got friends currently who are actually on drugs.
Yeah.
I know their intellect. I know their intelligence. So it paused with me before to understand why such an intelligent mind can fall easily for a trap like drugs.
It's psychological.
Then I
And you know
started
what? Because maybe their
yeah.
parents abused them. Like my parents were good. So my parents were good to me.
No,
So I had to stop because of my son, because I love my son. But if you don't, if your parents were abusive and you didn't have someone who could show you how to survive, because black people are strong. A black person can fall and do drugs and come back and become a great person. But you can't do that unless you have good role
yeah,
models. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah.
I had good role models. So I said, okay, let me stop this because if something happens to me, I wasn't worried about myself. I was worried about my son. You get my point? I said,
Uh,
what? But my mom used to worry about me. So I learned to worry about my own children from my mom. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, let's get out of here. Take it out. Take us out in 30 seconds. Last message for our fans who watch our show
uh,
and Kodak Black and for rap in general. Yeah.
shout out, shout out, shout out. This is Healthy from South Africa, actually from the south tip of Africa, original Albania.
Free state.
Listen, that, yeah, we've been here. I'm sending out my love to Kodak Black, wishing that he actually makes it out of this case. Not that to say that he's innocent. I'm not saying that he's innocent. I'm not saying that he's guilty. But I'm hoping that in a future stage, he might change his ways, start seeing the wrong that he's doing, especially the role model that kids are looking up to. We need positive things from idols like you for our kids because they follow you. So if you do make it out of this case, like, can you please change your ways, my man? Be an example to the community around you, to the whole world around you. People are watching. All right. One love.
Thank you. That was beautiful, man. You make me cry. I'm going to put that as our next video.